but thank you for having me. I need to apologize in advance. My dogs have a lot to say this morning, so if you hear dogs barking, this microphone should mute a lot of it, but I may mute myself while you're talking in between if they get loud. I have
Allora,
two
perché i
dogs.
suoi cani avranno da vedere qualche cosa, ma lo sentiamo benissimo comunque. Ok? Ok, go on.
Well, I think you already gave me a wonderful.
The dogs.
Yeah, the dogs. Sorry, I usually have someone with me to keep them away, and she's away. Sorry.
Me, I'm a cat person. So cats are less noisy.
Yeah, cats don't get in wars. These two are having a war right now. I gave them something, a candy to keep them quiet, but now there's three treats, two dogs, and a big fight because they can't count.
Hi, sorry.
No problem, faccio anche io. Magari tu stai qui perché se non capisco qualcosa mi
Okay. I'm late.
They should
by the way, I translate your short story. Then there'll be no one, and I loved it actually. It was
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
She will help me with the translation for public. And okay, let's talk. She has cats too.
I have 5 cats.
And again, cats are much better than dogs when it comes to this.
And I used to have a Belgian Shepherd, so I know how it is. You cannot keep them quiet.
No, I can go to another room though. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna lock them out. You get a tour of my house that nobody else gets. That's the bonus. Hang on 1 second.
I see 2 Hugos.
I'm gonna go lock them out of my other room. Maybe you can. I'll leave them to fight among themselves. All right.
They are like children. They never shut up when you need them to.
Yeah, it's very true. All right.
Intanto che
you get the music room now.
Ha cambiato stanza perché c'è il cane che continuava ad abbaiare. Sorry, I was translating. If you can keep sentences short so that I can translate in between.
Okay, well, sounds good.
I see a Les Paul and the SG and the several banjos.
You're a musician. All right, then you see.
No, my son.
This is reversed. That's the Les Paul copy. The SG, whoops, there we go. The SG my wife actually made for me.
Ci sono delle chitarre in sottofondo e dice che quella lì l'ha fatta suo marito per lei.
And the mandolins, this was my great uncle's mandolin. It's a 1923 Bacon Amateur.
Quello l'ha fatto il suo prozio nel 1923.
Later we will talk about music, Stacking Horse and your other LP. Now let's begin talking about the novel that we have to sell. So it's a priority for us. And okay. The novel, the English title of the novel is And Then There Were N-1, che è diciamo un gioco di parole con il titolo del romanzo di Agatha Christie, perché si tratta di un giallo.
By Agatha Christie, which was a thriller, and yours is a sort of thriller too.
Yes. In italiano abbiamo intitolato N-1 ed è un romanzo che parla di
Is described the novel in Italian.
dove abbiamo un congresso al quale partecipano tante versioni di diversi universi paralleli della stessa persona, e la persona è Sarah Pinsker. C'è un omicidio, perciò viene uccisa Sarah Pinsker, l'omicida è sicuramente un'altra Sarah Pinsker, e Sarah Pinsker deve indagare su chi è questo.
That's in short, the plot of your short novel, which I loved,
so,
really loved.
What is the story of the story? How the thing
do
began?
you mean how did it come about?
Yes.
I wrote that at a retreat. So I was away with a few other writers, and the title came first, I believe. The title in English is a pun on the Agatha Christie title, and tell me when you need me to stop so you can translate. But the title is a pun, and then I was trying to think of what it would mean, and I thought, oh, it means that there need to be one less of what. And I had this idea of a convention of all the same person, like a multiverse convention. And I wrote this. Okay.
Dice che ha avuto l'idea di questa storia quando era a un seminario di scrittura, praticamente si è ispirata alla storia dei 10 piccoli indiani di Agatha Christie, e allora ha pensato, però devo trovare un escamotage diverso, e allora ha immaginato questo congresso in cui sono tutte copie di se stessa, perché doveva trovare l'assassino e il colpevole.
And the first draft, the character was someone else. It was just a fictional made up character.
Nella prima stesura il personaggio principale ha qualcun altro, non era così, che è lei stessa, che sono tutte copie di se stessa.
And it was okay. It was good enough, but something was missing. And I realized for me, it was hard to care about many of one person when I didn't really know the first one to begin with.
E dice che sì, andava bene, filava, però mancava qualcosa perché non riusciva a entrare in un rapporto con un personaggio con cui non aveva un legame di qualche tipo.
And it was sort of a terrible realization that the only way to make it really work, that the way to make it the best story it could be, was to put myself into it.
E a quel punto ha avuto questa terribile realizzazione che l'unico modo per rendere una storia veramente valida era quella di usare se stessa nella storia.
So the real me is in there, but I'm hidden. I'm a very, very small character. You only see me when in one scene, and I don't tell anyone which one I am, but you can guess. But so I just made all of these others who have some characteristics like me and who were close enough that I could have some fun with it. But the others, the main character is not me.
E lì dentro, ma è un personaggio che ha una parte molto molto breve, non ci dice chi è perché dobbiamo tirare a indovinare noi, ma gli altri sono ispirati a persone che conosce, a cui ha dato il suo nome per avere, diciamo, gli altri personaggi della storia. Sorry.
Ok. Se ci pensate è un'esperienza interessante per uno scrittore scrivere un romanzo su se stessa, ma non soltanto su ciò che lei ha vissuto, ma ciò che lei avrebbe potuto vivere se avesse fatto delle scelte diverse nella vita.
It's interesting to write a novel about yourself, not only who you are, but who you could have been if you made different choices in life.
Ed è un gioco appunto anche divertente per il lettore cercare di capire quali sono gli elementi reali della vita della scrittrice, quali invece non lo sono.
And it is nice for the reader to try to understand which are the real events in your life and which aren't.
Mm-hmm.
I read in another interview that the story of the horse with the horse, it's true. C'è una scena in cui lei fa l'istruttrice di equitazione e salva una bambina, mi pare, a cui si era il cavallo ha cominciato a correre in modo...
I did some horse riding myself, I loved that part.
E quella è una storia vera, anche sembra una storia particolarmente romanzata.
C'è la parte
But-
in cui appunto lei salva questa bambina, come ha detto lui, e onestamente io ho cavalcato e ho avuto un'esperienza simile, tra l'altro coinvolta mia figlia, è meraviglioso, è da leggere. I had a similar experience with my daughter involved.
Oh,
And
wow.
the question is, you really don't like olives?
Okay, so I pride myself on trying everything. So I won't write them off forever, but I try olives every once in a while to say, oh, maybe I'll like and hopefully this doesn't get me uninvited from Italy. I want to come to Italy. I want you to give me your best olive, and I'll try again. I keep trying, but no, I like olive oil. I like very olivey olive oil, but I don't like olives yet.
Ed è vero che non le piacciono le olive, perché le sale Pinsker lasciano tutte le olive negli angoli del piatto.
Sì, in questa convention c'è l'agenzia di catering che serve delle cose con le olive, nonostante tutte le partecipanti al convegno si sapesse già che
Yeah, and one
non
interesting
amavano le
thing
olive.
is that usually when you go to conventions, you may give all the possible directions for food, and they always make some mistake. There was one convention many years ago when we said that nobody liked the fish, Friday fish.
Another joke that you wrote a story based on Agatha Christie, but using a character with your name, you end up writing a Ellery Queen story.
Right, right.
Wrote with his name.
Dice che è vero che ha scritto una storia alla Agatha Christie, ma usando se stessa come personaggio principale è diventata una storia alla Ellery Queen.
Allora, as I anticipated before, next year will be published in Italy your second novel, yes, A Song for a New Day, that is a real novel, longer than N-1. It is based on the Nebula winner novelet Our Lady of Open Road che abbiamo pubblicato su Robot con il titolo Nostra Signora della Strada.
They published it on Robot as their own title.
What is the relation from novelet and novel, and what is about the novel? And okay,
Glielo traduco.
Qual è il rapporto tra il racconto e il romanzo? And another thing, the novel is about a pandemic that makes it impossible to have live concerts with the public, and it was written in 2019, so you feel responsible for what happened next year.
Yeah, and actually, it came out in 2019. So I wrote it between 2016 and 2018. And I did.
Questo romanzo parla di un'epidemia che rende impossibile un concerto, ma l'hai scritto nel 2019, quindi si è sentita un po' responsabile di quello che è successo dopo.
And I'm very glad it came out in 2019 and not 2020, so that it can seem ahead of its time.
Yeah. È molto contenta che sia uscita nel 2019 in tempi non sospetti, così non sembra che sia stata scritta apposta.
But I did a lot of research about pandemics, and you know, a lot of it turned out to be right because the research, you know, I do good research. So the doctor, you know, the questions I asked got to the same answers. It was, it's not the same pandemic as we had, as we have. It's not the same one, but there are some weird similarities.
Dice che ha fatto un sacco di ricerche sulle pandemie, ovviamente parlando con dottori, eccetera. Non è quella che abbiamo avuto, ma ci sono un sacco di somiglianze.
And the bigger thing in my mind when I was writing it, more than the pandemic, was also the violence. There had been the bombing in France at the Queens of the Stone Age concert, and all of the violence here in the U.S., the mass shootings, and so part of it was the question for the novel is what would cause people to stay inside.
C'è anche stato un sacco di violenza nella storia, come episodi che hanno avuto lì, mass shooting, sparatori di massa, eccetera. Quindi la sua domanda di base è che cosa costringeva veramente le persone a stare in casa.
And what would cause the government and companies to monetize that fear?
E che cosa avrebbe indotto il governo e diverse società a monetizzare la situazione.
So the novel focuses more. It's about a technology that lets people watch concerts from home very, very well. It's immersive.
Quindi praticamente il romanzo riguarda questa tecnologia che permette alle persone di vedere i concerti da casa con questi grossi caschi o quello che è.
And it's about the musicians who still make music for live audiences after the danger is past, but everyone is still inside.
E riguarda ai musicisti che si guadagnano da vivere in questo modo anche dopo che il pericolo è passato, ma la gente continua a rimanere in casa. Yeah.
As a musician, you have suffered very much this pandemic and the pandemic.
Yes, but I'm lucky because I'm a writer too. My friends who are full-time musicians, because I was for a while, but I no longer am a full-time musician. My friends who make music full-time are the ones who have suffered much more than me as a writer.
Mi ha chiesto se ha sofferto molto come musicista di questa pandemia, dice che lei è fortunata perché è soprattutto una scrittrice, ma ha degli amici che sono essenzialmente musicisti e ne hanno sofferto parecchio.
Well, George Martin said he found useful the pandemics because it was the occasion to write the novel that millions of people are waiting. They're still waiting. Ok, l'anno scorso abbiamo pubblicato su Robot un racconto di Sarah Pinsker.
They published a short story by you.
Due verità e una bugia.
Two truths and one lie.
Yeah.
Ho tradotto io quella. I think I translated that too. Yeah, I remember the title.
E pochi mesi dopo che l'abbiamo pubblicata ha vinto anche il Premio Hugo, e quest'anno abbiamo acquistato un altro suo racconto, aveva vinto il Premio Nebula, Where Ocken Hearts Do Gather, che si intitola Dove si raccolgono i cuori di quercia, e anche questa dopo pochi mesi ha vinto anche il Premio Hugo.
And, so we are bringing luck to you.
Yes, I think so.
E questa seconda storia è veramente una storia estremamente particolare, perché è un racconto fatto come se fosse la pagina di un social, dove gli utenti commentano il testo di una poesia, di una canzone tradizionale. No? E attraverso questi commenti, le note che fanno, i commenti e le reazioni che hanno, viene fuori una storia che alla fine è anche abbastanza creepy.
Wrote it as it were a social with the comments and the answers and the like, and the story developed from that.
Com'è nata questa storia?
How was it born?
How did the story come about? Was that the question? Okay.
Yeah.
So this one, I had wanted for a long time to write a story about a ballad, and so a story about a song that had some weird truth to it.
No, per molto tempo voleva scrivere una storia che avesse qualcosa di strano, di weird. È una parola difficile da rendere, perché è strano ma anche bizzarro, anche l'horror, se vogliamo, è weird, cioè ha una componente molto we're explaining weird because Italian doesn't have one word to say that.
All right. And the I was looking up the lyrics to a song. There's a website called Genius that has where anybody who wants can give an explanation for a lyric. People can annotate the lyrics.
Yeah.
And so I went to I was looking something up on that website and it was wrong. It was so wrong.
Stavo guardando una cosa su questo website dove tutti possono dare una spiegazione su determinati termini, si è accorta che era veramente sbagliato quello che stava guardando. So.
And I started thinking about how everyone was trying to figure this out, but getting it wrong. And so I wanted to write a story that had the song, and then it had a layer of people trying to figure out the song, and then something happening behind all of that.
Si è accorta che tutti davano delle spiegazioni sbagliate riguardo a questa canzone, quindi ha deciso di scrivere un racconto dove c'era questa canzone, appunto c'era tutta questa confusione sul cercare di dare una spiegazione, lei voleva arrivare a dare un senso alla cosa.
So that's pretty much it. And then I wanted it to work as a song as well, on its own, and which I think it does.
Voleva lavorare su questa canzone che pensa che sia quello che è riuscita a fare.
E questa è una canzone tradizionale che però non esiste, che è inventato lei.
It is a traditional folk song which doesn't exist. You invented it, right?
Right.
Però lei è cantata anche su YouTube, c'è un video.
But you also sang it on YouTube, and there is a video about that.
Yeah.
Su YouTube ci sono anche i commenti al video, quindi è come se fosse una continuazione del
And
racconto.
there are comments on there are comments on the video, so it is like a sequel to your story.
It is. It makes me so happy. Everyone who goes to the YouTube video comments as if it's real. It makes me so happy that it is sort of a continuation of the story.
E la rende molto felice che tutti vanno su YouTube e lo trattano come se fosse vero.
So I have a dream. I have a dream that other people will cover it and will choose their own verses, and there'll be more and more of them to choose between.
Il suo sogno è che le persone aggiungano degli altri versi in modo che la cosa vada avanti e continui.
Magari il boss Bruce Springsteen legge il racconto e decide di fare la sua versione.
One day or the other, Bruce Springsteen might read the story and decide to make his own version of your song.
Yeah.
You won 2 Hugo Awards in the last 2 years, but in the last 7 years, all the fiction categories of Hugos was won by women. It is something extraordinary in a way, but I think there are a lot of great female writers right now, so it's not so strange, but it's a phenomenon because 7 years all categories won by women. Strange.
Dicendo che sono 7 anni che tutte le categorie vengono vinte da donne, che è un fenomeno molto particolare.
Why is that?
Oh, I think that the early category, the early years, they were all won by men, and there were women writing. So I think I think that there's not a lot that can be judged on what wins in a particular year, because there's so much at play, just in what gains attention. So I'm not sure I have a great answer to that question. I think things may balance more, but I think there's always new writers and new trends and new stories to tell. So things will shift, and things will shift back, and things will shift around. Uh-oh, are you frozen? Am I frozen? Can't tell who's frozen because it still says live and it's still counting the time. Hello, if you're listening to this, it's just me.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
We lost the connection. This is a very
Bad weather.
difficult.
Oh no.
The weather is not helping. Humidity, rain, and it makes things worse, you know.
Yes. Cosa stavamo dicendo?
Le donne.
Delle donne? Eravamo
About women having won a lot
yeah,
of
we can go to the
awards for 7 years in a row.
diceva,
right. I forgot what I said. If you want, we can go to the next question, or I can try to say it again. Whichever you want.
no, comunque lei diceva, non so se...
I think you were saying that you don't
che
have a
non ha una
real
vera
explanation about that.
risposta,
Why?
che comunque c'è un'alternanza in
C'è
qualche
un
modo.
avvicendarsi. There was a time for men and now there is a time for women, I would say.
Yeah, and
No, the last question.
Yeah.
No,
I was just going to say times move back and forth, and all the genders will be represented.
Yes, but there was, I think, some decades where all Yugos were won by men, and no one found that strange thing. So there's no reason to find it strange that there are 7 years where Yugos are won by women. No,
I would say that maybe times are more open now. There might have been women who deserved that, but the times were not ripe for that. Maybe 7 years ago.
I think that's very true, and and if you look at the ballots, you know, there's a mix of genders on the ballots before the win. So it, you know, what comes to the top, you know, it's like eno menos uno. You know, in one universe it might be one thing, in another universe it's another thing.
Dice che c'è un equilibrio per cui magari in un universo le cose vanno in un modo, in un universo le cose vanno nell'altro. Lei scrive sui multiversi, quindi.
And in one of these other universe, your personality is a pop singer, or maybe this is the same universe. Okay. Allora, lei è una cantante folk, sì, con una musica che somiglia un po' a Bruce Springsteen, se vogliamo, come genere. You did 3 albums, right? 2 as your Sarah Pinsker and 1 with Talking Horse.
Three as myself and 1 with the star.
3. Ah, yes, 3. Okay. Li ho ascoltati, devo dire, mi sono piaciuti anche abbastanza.
Listen to them and liked them a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Especially Something Too Old, I liked it very much.
Oh, thank you. That's a new one.
So the question was, do you think of yourself as a writer or as a singer? But some way you answered that before.
I mean,
writer or singer.
I think the answer that I usually give is that I'm a storyteller, and that you can tell stories in songs and you can tell stories in fiction. And I'm lucky that I have 2 modes. Some people have poetry and fiction, and some people have screenwriting, and you know, it's different modes of storytelling.
Lei è fondamentalmente una narratrice di storie ed è fortunata perché ha due modi per dirlo, con le parole o con le canzoni.
The album of the Stalking Horse was 2007. Nothing more after that. But you are working with them these days. I read on
Yeah,
Twitter.
yes, we played together for the first time in a little while last month. My drummer died right before the pandemic, and the last few years he had been sick and we hadn't been playing together during that time. And a little before that, I was busy starting a writing career, and I it's my fault too. So it's a joyful thing that we're playing together again, and a bittersweet thing.
Dice che prima della pandemia il suo batterista è morto e poi lei si è messa a scrivere sul serio, per cui c'è stata una grossa pausa, adesso è felice che stanno riprendendo a lavorare sul serio.
Qualcuno ha delle domande? Io ho finito le mie.
Any questions?
Sì. Dai, parla qui. Non si può prendere.
Hello. I loved also your novelette Winds Will Row because of a theme of music which keeps the culture on a generation ship and the struggle between tradition and innovation. It shows your love for music. And do you think you're going to write more stories about that the settings of a generation ship and so on?
I thank you for that question. I love that story. That in some ways, I think that's even a more personal story than Eno Menosuno. With the themes and the music and what we remember and what we take with us. And I would love to go back to that setting.
Dice che, vabbè, tu l'avrai capita, comunque dice che ha amato molto quella storia perché è legata a tutta una serie di cose che amerebbe molto tornare a quel set narrativo.
Altre domande?
I'm going to add something else, which is that when I wrote that story, people always asked me, does that song exist in your head? And yes, it did. I always said yes. I know what it sounds like, but I didn't want to distort what other people imagined when they heard it. So Where Oaken Hearts Do Gather is related to me. They're sort of the science fiction and the fantasy version, similar to each other in themes, with the way that the song changes over the years. But the Oaken Hearts, I wrote the song and played it to prove to people that I do hear the song.
Dio ha parlato tanto, dice che comunque la canzone esisteva nella sua testa, ma se ho ben capito ci sono due versioni, una fantascienza e una fantasy, e non ha voluto alterare quello che può essere l'immaginazione del... sorry, I lost you in between because I can't remember all you said.
I know, I realized that was a lot. So you said the part with the science fiction and fantasy. The other thing I said was people always ask me with Wind Will Rove, do you know what the song sounds like? Did you write the song? And I say yes, but I'm not letting you hear it. So Oaken Hearts Do Gather, I played the song to prove it to people that I hear the song.
Gliel'ha suonata proprio per dimostrare che la conosceva, perché tanta gente gli ha fatto questa domanda. Thanks.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, it's my fault. You said shorter sentences.
He is explaining your story in Italian.
Okay. Maybe I will about the story for Robert. If you like, if it's okay for you. Okay. Thank you very much. Our time is expired. It was a very nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Congratulations for your guitars.
I'm just
Thank you.
sorry we are not in person because I would love to have a conversation in private with you.
All right. Well, maybe I'll come there sometime, and you'll make me try some olives, and we'll give it a
Okay.
shot.
That's really, really fine because I think I translated the 2 of your stories because the other one, Two Truths and a Lie, I think I translated that too. I remember the title.
Mhm.
We will be glad to have you in our convention one of the next years in Italy.
Excellent. All
Okay.
right. And I apologize again for my dogs, but now you get the music room. So, all right.
Okay. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.